Forester fans, my name is Lily Evans, and today I will be interviewing Coach Cat about the big win against Knox. Defense has posted another shutout win. How has this affected the team and the coaching staff?
Yeah, it's obviously great for morale. When you don't give up points, it's a lot easier to win games. And I thought that the performance on Saturday was strong. Going against a triple option offense, which is so unusual for our guys to see, I think that they really answered the call on disciplined football and make sure they had their assignments down. I think it's really a testament to Coach Butts. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit as much as he should for the way that our defense plays and how sound they are every single week, week in and week out. I think that his tenure here, being here since 2013, he's gotten very familiar with the league, very familiar with the coaches, and also with how to get our players to do what they need to do, task focused. And I think that he, from a leadership perspective, the guys respond to him. They have a culture within the culture, if you will, that I think is very determinate about their performance, and not giving up points is always the goal. And so to be able to do that in the modern era of college football is not an easy thing to do, but for them to do it again, I think that our SID put out a stat that this is the 11th shutout in the last 45 games, so that's pretty good.
Are there any players that you really think stood out this game?
Yeah, I thought we finally got to see a glimpse of Dax Lindholm at wide receiver. I think that he's a guy that we've been trying to get the ball to a little bit more and trying to get him to pop off a little bit at wide receiver. He had a really good day that way. On the defensive side of the ball, Mark Rice really had a little bit of a coming out party on Saturday. He's a guy that's been a pass rush specialist for us and doing some different things. And against a team that doesn't pass the ball very often, he was able to go in there, make a few tackles for a loss, and create some havoc that way. Within the special teams, you had 2 punt returns for touchdowns, so those obviously get noticed. AJ being back for one, and then they punted so quickly on the second one that Jace Knudsen getting his first return for a touchdown. I thought it was good to see both those guys get his first quarter scores through special teams, because that's an area we always talk about as being super important for us.
Was there anything specific in film and in practice that you used to create the touchdowns from the punt returns?
To be honest with you, we stuck to some of our basic stuff, and we just thought that if we could get the edge while still bringing pressure, we'd have a chance. And so it was pretty unique the way that we got the first one, because we had AJ kind of made a move, broke some tackle, and came back across the field, whereas Jace's literally went exactly where the return was set to go down the sideline. And so I thought it was kind of interesting to see how the same return run by 2 different people, 2 different ways, still led to a touchdown. So I don't know if there's any magic on the film other than player execution and showing our guys where they needed to be. But we thought we had a little bit of an athletic advantage there because they had some linemen out in their back wall for the 3 Bears. And we felt that if we could get to those 3 guys, we were going to have a shot, and we did.
Having a very dominant game, you were able to get some younger players in. How did this affect the team?
I thought it was great. There were some, you saw some late celebrations when, Michael Kazimierz throws a touchdown to Tommy Carberry, both of their first touchdowns in the college football realm. I thought that there were some other guys on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball that were playing with some pretty good intensity. But it also got some guys that are older, some more meaningful reps that maybe they hadn't been getting. I thought that Kel Crenshaw, who's a guy who's changed positions during his career here, he was a guy that Coach Butts even mentioned as having some flashes late in the game. And so having those guys get a chance to play, I think, gets them a little bit of substance to build off of as we go through the next couple of weeks and pushing towards the final stretch here. But I think that we had a good performance that way, and that's the goal. That's why we bring everybody every game. Is the more guys that we bring, the more guys we have a chance to play. And I think we had like 80 guys playing the game on Saturday. So continuing to do that moving forward is definitely one of our goals.
Offense was again very balanced in running and passing. Is there anything in practice that has really helped that?
Yeah, it's the consistency of who's available in practice, guys staying healthy. I think during the bye week that really helped. We had a couple of guys who were dinged up going into the Cornell game, and then that first week of the bye week we kind of took some days off and let those guys kind of come back, and that allowed them to practice at full speed when they came back this week. And so to me, that was something that definitely helped the timing of certain routes get better. Like I said, with Dax is a guy we're trying to get the ball to, and here's a guy that transferred here this year and didn't have maybe as much chemistry with Trey as a quarterback as we needed, and he's starting to pick some of that up. But I do think that it was just the guys getting healthier and getting that speed up for the passing game. the run game is just, guys have to, somebody's going to take over this running back spot for us here at some point, because right now we're really, really balanced. I think we had 9 different guys with carries on Saturday or something like that. And so hopefully one of those guys chooses to separate himself from everybody else. And I think there's a couple guys that are trying to do that, Josiah Kidd, Mel Chun, and Talon Goodwin. I think those guys are really starting to put themselves in position to be considered, but that's still 3 guys, not 1. And so we would really like to see one of those guys become the go-to, bell cow, if you will, and get them the ball more.
All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you, Coach Cat.
Thanks for having me.